is asking their citizens to exercise caution during the ongoing festive season. Sources said that the Canadian Foreign Minister John Baird told Krishna that the advisory was not aimed at dissuading people from travelling to India and that he was actually going to encourage Canadians to visit India. Australian Prime Minister Kevin Rudd said that its travel advisory was a routine advice.
Red Bull Sebastian Vettel scored his way to the pole position for Sunday's Formula One Indian Grand Prix, but forces India's Narayan Karthikeyan was handed a 5-place grid penalty for impeding Michael Schumacher's car during the qualifying race. It means that the Indian will have to start his home Formula One Grand Prix from the last position on the grid tomorrow. Vettel secured his 13th position of the 2011 season, tipping McLaren's Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton will actually start from 5th position due a 3-place grid penalty for ignoring a flag warning. Karthikeyan had qualified in the 22nd position but will now move to the rear of the 24th car field. Fans vandalized the venue of a show by American heavy metal band Metallica after the show was postponed due to what the organization said that safety concern, which 4 organizers have been arrested for the huge mess-up.
The irate fans went on rampage and created ruckus at Leisure Valley in Gurgaon on Friday evening after the much-anticipated Metallica concert was cancelled. The angry fans destroyed equipment, tore down the posters, threw bottles on the stage. They blamed the organizer, DNA Networks, responsible for the chaos. Many fans found fault in the booking of their concert tickets on ticketgenie.in, advertised on the organizer's website. According to them, those who were sent confirmation emails which stated that tickets would be delivered to the mentioned address latest by October 25th, which did not happen.
उन्होंने बोला टेक्निकल डिफिकल्टी है, बट सीरियसली कोई सिक्योरिटी नहीं था. जब हम अंदर घुसे तो हम भगदड़ मची हुई थी, लोगों की टिकट भी पूरे चेक नहीं हुए.
For many, waiting in queue for over 3 hours was worst ever.
बहुत देर से वेट कर रहे हैं हम लोग यहाँ पे, काफी 1-2 घंटे से खड़े हुए हैं यहाँ पे. गेट सारे के सारे बंद हैं, हमें एंट्री नहीं करनी थी, पर अभी जब बोल रहे हैं कि कैंसिल कर दिया है. क्यों? किसी ढंग से नहीं बोला, पर जितना हम सुन रहे हैं कि कोई सिक्योरिटी रीजन की वजह से.
Even the fans alleged the cops present there of not making any attempt to control the situation. However, the organizers claimed that the band decided to pull out of the show ahead of going to the press because of the shoddy security arrangement and not due to technical glitches. Meanwhile, 4 members of the organizing team of the Metallica concert that was supposed to be held in Gurgaon have been arrested for cheating public. Notices have also been served to the owners of DNA Event Management Company, which is organizing the concert, who are in Bangalore. The 4 arrested are DNA GM Operations Rajesh Bachani, Assistant Managers Ashok, Sergio Falario and Umesh. National Desk, Frontier TV.
Well, Metallica fans will have to wait for the Bangalore gig tomorrow. Well, moving on for some international news, we bring you around the world in 3 minutes.
Scores of people waved tiny flags after taking the oath of US citizenship at the foot of the Statue of Liberty on Friday, 125 years after the iconic American symbol welcoming visitors and immigrants was dedicated. The new Americans, 125 immigrants from 46 countries, pledged to renounce foreign power, then posed for photos with their citizenship certificates. The birthday party concluded Friday with a 12-minute fireworks display choreographed to patriotic music. Today, the statue's interior will be closed for renovation for about a year, though Liberty Island will remain open. The International Criminal Court is an indirect negotiation with the son of the late Libyan leader Gaddafi about his possible surrender for trial. The chief prosecutor said on Friday. Luis Moreno Ocampo told the Associated Press talks were being held through intermediaries, whom he did not identify, to assure Saif al-Assam Gaddafi that he would receive a fair trial and that he could be helped to find a new country of residence if he were acquitted or other completing a prison sentence. He said he did not know exactly where Gaddafi is. The 39-year-old was reported to be heading through the desert to Mali, where the former Libyan intelligence chief Abdullah El-Senozi fled on Wednesday. An advisor to the president of Niger said Gaddafi should cross the border into Mali later on Friday or Saturday. A man armed with hand grenades and an atomic weapon opened fire outside the US Embassy in Bosnia on Friday in what authority called a terror attack. A policeman and the gunman were wounded, but the embassy said none of its employees were hurt. Witness told Bosnia television that man urged pedestrians to move away, saying he was targeting only the embassy. He wore a beard and was dressed in an outfit with short pants that revealed his ankles, typically for followers of the conservative Wahhabi branch of Islam. One police officer guarding the building was wounded before police surrendered the gunman. After 30-minute standoff, the sound of a single shot echoed and AP video showed the shooter slumped to the ground. Police arrested the wounded man, who one of Bosnia's 3 pedestrians said it's a foreigner, and took him away in an ambulance as pedestrians covered behind building and vehicles. Australia's Qantas Airways said on Thursday it was grounding all aircraft over a labour dispute, a move that would cost it $21.4 million a day. The airline said in a statement that from Monday evening it would lock out all employees over a protected industrial dispute with the Engineers Association, Pilots and Catering and Ground Handling Association. An extended grounding would benefit domestic rival Virgin Australia and others such as Singapore Airlines, British Airlines and Chinese carriers on international routes.
That was around the world in 3 minutes. We're moving on for tidbits of the historical relevance in our next segment, This Day, That Year.
Today in 1964, the 563-carat Star of India sapphire, the world's second largest star sapphire, became the object of an infamous burglary. When the priceless gem, together with 3 other famous gemstones, the Eagle Diamond, the DeLong Star Ruby and the Midnight Sapphire, and 18 other priceless gems were stolen from the J.P. Morgan Hall of Gems of the American Museum of Natural History. The thefts became famous as the biggest jewel heist in the history of America and were given a 3-year prison sentence for their part in the sensational crime, which subsequently became the theme of the thrilling Hollywood movie Moth the Surf, starring Robert Conrad, released in 1975. On this day in 1999, a cyclone with winds up to 160 mph sweeps through the state of Orissa in eastern India, leaving thousands more homeless after a tidal wave ran across the low-lying plains along the coast. On this day in 1971, Winona Ryder was born. She is an American actress who has starred in a number of movies and has been nominated a couple of times for Academy Awards for Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress. Some of her movies include Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands, Mermaids, The Age of Innocence, Little Woman and Great Balls of Fire. She was also featured on nightly news following her arrest for shoplifting from a Saks Fifth Avenue store in Beverly Hills, California. After a highly publicized trial, she was found guilty and convicted of grand theft and sentenced to 3 years probation with 480 hours of community service.
It's time for some entertainment news. Raveena Tandon makes a full-fledged comeback in Jin Liya Asman and says it's a performance-oriented role.
Raveena Tandon makes a full-fledged comeback in Jin Liya Asman and says it's a performance-oriented role. You may recall that she was recently seen in a cameo in Amitabh Bachchan's Buddha Hoga Tera Baap. Her next will be directed by Rishi Deshpande and produced by Musaddar Aziz, Anil Bohra and Bishajit Gaikwad. Jin Liya Asman is a story of a 6-year-old boy whose father, a naval officer, has been missing since a plane crash, and the kid has been told that his father lives in the sky. The innocent kid believes that his father is in charge of many duties and is responsible for bringing us monsoon and decides the shape of the moon, and that he will come and spend time with him as soon as he gets vacation. Raveena Tandon plays the character of the boy's mother, and despite playing a mother, Raveena Tandon seems upbeat about making her comeback.
Ravina having fun in the dance number when Chitrangana Singh has got her due place in Desi Boys. Though she was missing in action for the film's first theatrical promo, she is much more visible in a second promo that has just been released.
मैं तुम्हारे हर सही आंसर पर
Chitrangana Singh has got her due place in Desi Boys. Though she was missing in action for the film's first theatrical promo, she is much more visible in a second promo that has just been released. While it is pretty much established that Akshay Kumar addressed Deepika Padukone as his bhabhi in the film, it is Chitrangana who entices him with her moves. Chitrangana, famous for her bold image and in offbeat movies, proves her sexual quotient even in a hardcore commercial film like Desi Boys. Incidentally, the sequence is centered on a situation in the film where Chitrangana offers to gradually strip for Akshay provided he gets the right answers for all the questions he is preparing for. However, instead of getting into a seductive mode, the sequence has a fun feel to it which is meant to incite laughter amongst the audience. Also, despite the on-screen image that Chitrangana has built over the years, she has never indulged into skin show despite what her gestures and mannerisms may suggest. Even Akshay always caters to family audience and Desi Boys isn't going to be any different. This is pretty much confirmed by director Rohit Dhawan too, who in his debut effort is ensuring that the film evolves into a classic product with a touch of humor to it, and that's all.
That was an investment banker.
It's time to take a quick look at the top stories once again.
The headlines are brought to you by Aircel.
Manna decide not to resolve core committee, says Hisar campaign was justified. Many fear dead as hanging bridge collapsed in Arunachal Pradesh, West Kameng district. Gamlin quits after AICC directive, all eyes on Sonia Gandhi now. Tension flares up along Assam-Nagaland border, miscreants fire at border residents. Abducted non-local traders, bullet-ridden recovered body in Manipur. Adivasi militant group threatens to pull out of ceasefire and return to the jungles. October 30th anniversary tomorrow, memories of the day still haunt the ill-fated families. And in sports, England tastes success at last, beat India by 6 wickets in T20 match at Eden Gardens. Sebastian Vettel takes pole position for Sunday's Formula 1 debut in India. This is what we have in the Midnight News. Keep watching Frontier TV for fast, fair and fearless news. Thank you.
The Midnight News Curry was brought to you by Aircel, your world of possibilities. Topsim, Mazbooti ka bharosa, hamesha. Amar Dristi, Rozarpura Prozaloy. Amar Dristi, Gawe Bhuye, Nogore Sohore. Amar Dristi, Rastrorpura Rajyoloy. Amar Dristi, Protidu Hongbadote.
ফ্ৰণ্টিয়াৰ শিৰোনাম 6:45